Good evening, viewers all over. My name is Felicia Porabatu. Once again, we met. Tonight, I just want us to talk about grief as a result of being a widow, as a result of losing my husband. I found myself going through grief. So while I was going through this journey, I've learned a lot. That's why I'm here tonight. I decided to say, let me just take this opportunity and reach out to someone who might be going through the same journey that I went through. Ladies, queen, we all know how it feels to lose your partner. We all knows how it's like to find yourself going through the stage of being a widow. While I was there, many things happened. I was helpless. I needed someone. I was helpless. I didn't know what to do. There were many people, my family, my siblings, they were there for me. They keep on telling me that, Felicia, you are very strong. You can make it. You can pull out of this situation. And to them, it seems simple, but for me, it was something tough. It was very difficult. To realize that I need to face the world alone. It was a mountain to climb. When I look around, I realize that the community that I found myself in has changed towards me. When you are a widow, people tend to change. When you are a widow, even your friends, they turn their backs away from you. And I don't blame them because of the cultures that we find ourselves in. Some cultures believe that when someone loses a partner, especially when a woman loses a husband, they believe that you are not supposed to share anything with that person. You are not supposed to, they don't even want to be closer to you. So through that, you end up losing people that are close to you. I then start to realize that this thing, it's like, when you are in that stage, it's like you are cursed. It's like you are cursed. They associate widowhood with a curse. And my queens, let me share something with you. I don't want you to feel sorry for yourself. You are not cursed at all. Losing your partner was not your mistake. Losing your partner was not something that you did. Losing your partner was due to God's will. And you need to allow the will of God to happen. Just that the community that we live in, there are many things that comes with being a widow. If a wife loses a husband, it all comes back to a wife to say, hey, she killed him, all those things. So, but as we all know, as widows, we have nothing to do with it. It's only God who knows. We just need to find it within ourselves, to make peace with it, to say the community that we are living in doesn't understand. They need maybe to be educated, I don't know. So while I was in that journey, I looked around. I needed someone who can just be there for me. People that I used to trust, they were no longer next to me. People that I used to rely on, they were no longer next to me. They were all I don't know. I had many questions. Even today, I think this platform, because we'll be engaging going forward, maybe I will find answers. Maybe I will have, clue to get to understand what's really happening. Because as a community, we are not doing justice to one another. When someone loses a partner, it's a time whereby we need to be there for the person, but we tend to walk away from that person. After realizing that, I then decided to say, I need to find myself. I need to find myself. I need to be able to stand again. I've got kids that I need to raise. I've got family that I need to run. Then I started to say, yeah, let me do something about my life. I decided to go to gyms. I decided to start reading books. While I was busy reading books, I come across this 10 points that talks to widowhood. It says 10 ways that can make a widow to stand strong. And then I had to go through those points. And there's this point that it happened that I fell in love with it. The point whereby it talks about being alone. It says you need to love your loneliness as a widow. As someone who lost a partner, you need to love your loneliness. And to be honest with you, if you don't do that, you'll find yourself miserable in this world. Remember now, you are alone, and all this time you used to be with someone who believes in you, someone who trusts you, someone who always say, I don't know, and all of a sudden, all of that needs to change. And obviously, your mind is not going to change automatically over the night. It's going to take time for your mind to adjust, but you need to learn to love that space. You need to learn to love your loneliness. Waking up one day, looking at your bedroom, looking at your house, looking at that bed that you once chose with your partner, and realize that now you are going to be in that bedroom alone. It's so painful. But you need to be strong. You need to love that space. You need to cherish everything about that space alone. Waking up midnight and realizing that you are now alone. You need to be able to love the space. Because if you don't do that, you're going to end up doing funny things, which we don't want as queens. We want you to be able to stand and run with this thing with your kids. And then the loneliness. Sometimes you will crash. Sometimes you will cry due to the loneliness. And don't be embarrassed. It's something that it's supposed to happen. Going through grief, you'll find yourself crying, not knowing why you are crying. So allow that to happen. And then when you feel that loneliness, talk to a friend, talk to your pastor, talk to someone that there are people out there who are there just to listen. Tell them that today I'm so lonely. I miss my husband. And if you feel like crying, just cry. And there is this other point, a point whereby you need to find or to join the community of similarity. As a widow, you need to join other widows. You need to find other widows. Otherwise, if you stay with people who are not widows, they won't understand you. So if you find a community that talks to you, people that talks same language with you, people that understand where you are. It makes things a bit easier, because when you talk about the pain, they understand the pain that you are in. When you talk about your loneliness, they understand that indeed you are alone. When you talk about missing your husband, they relate to what you are talking about. So join the community of same similarity with you, that shares same similarity with you. You will see that will make things simple, and then your life bit by bit you'll start to realize, you'll start to learn things. When you are talking, someone will be able to understand you better. And let me share something with you. You are not going to go around looking for those people. Those people will just automatically appear into your life. God will just bring them to you. And there's this other stage whereby you pray and say, one day I wish I'll meet with my husband. It's like a joke, ne? But when you are there, you will have that thing whereby you will pray and say, if only I can see him once more. If only I can see him, even if it's only 1 second, I will be happy to see him. When I talk about this, it's so painful. But to be honest with you, you will pray and say, if only I can see my husband again. And let me tell you, you will never see him again. You will never hear his voice again. The only thing that's left with you are memories, and cherish those memories. And there's another point again that talks about allow people to forget about your loved ones. Your siblings will forget about your lost one. Your community, they will forget about your loved one. And don't blame them, because it's not their journey, it's your journey. This, remember, it's your journey and it's yours alone. So when your sisters start to forget about your loved ones, when they start to forget about your loss, don't blame them. Allow them to walk away from the pain. Allow them to forget about him. But for you, the only thing that you can do is to cherish the moment that you once shared with him. When you feel like taking out those photos, take them out. Sit down with those photos. Go through those photos. Check those photos. Your anniversary photos, your wedding photos, your birthday photos. Just go through them. You'll find peace by just looking at those photos. Sometimes looking at them will cause pain, but allow it to happen. It's part of healing. The more you do that, the more you heal. You find peace. So allow that to happen. And then while I was still there, there's this other point that talks about a long-term plan and short-term plan. As a widow, when you are there, you don't sit and relax. There are bills that are coming. There are kids, school fees, long-term goals. You need to start planning, and you need to take ownership to say, now I'm alone. I need to do things differently. Yes, you used to do things with someone else, but now here you are alone. What is it that you do? You need to start prioritizing things. You need to sit down, draft your stuff, and say, this is how I must live my life each and every month, day by day, with my kids. And then you then go as far as, where do I want to see myself when I go on pension? You start planning around that. You need to start planning for your annuity plan. You need to start planning for your pension fund, to say, now I'm alone. I must plan for those things so that I mustn't find myself miserable when I arrive 60 years, 65 years. You must be prepared. So those are the things that you need to look, and then you must tick and say, this needs to be done. And then while we are still there, as a widow, you need to ask yourself, do I sit there and drown in pain? Do I sit there and feel pity for myself? No, ladies. It's time for you to stand up. It's time for you to walk away from that dark corner that you find yourself in. It's time for you to claim back your life. Take control of your life. You can't afford to be in the darkness for long. You can't. Otherwise, you will end up losing everything. People will just come into your life and go. They will do as they please, and you can't allow that to happen to you. You've got kids. What are you saying about your kids? You need to stand up. Pray God to give you strength. Just pray to say, if I can just take one step a day, that will be more than enough for me. And remember, you are doing this for your own being. You are doing it so that you can have peace with yourself. So, my dear queen, if you are in that corner whereby you don't see a light, let me tell you something. There is a light out there. There's still a life. Your life doesn't end because of your partner is gone. You still have your own life that you need to live for your kids, for your generation to come. There are dreams that you used to dream with your partner. Do you allow those dreams to just vanish? No, you are still alive. Continue the journey. That your partner was there as someone, I don't know how to put this, but now you can't stop because he's no longer there. Continue the journey. Tell yourself that I'm going to do this. And you will do it. The moment you accept the loss, and the moment you tell yourself that this has happened, I must see to it that I continue, you will continue. God will give you strength. You just pick up the pieces and move on. You can't afford to sink there. You can't. You can't. If you are in a darkness, if you are in that hole, what do? You pray to say, God, if I can only out of this hole, I'm gonna do things differently. So what is it that is stopping you now? Claim your life, but take control of your life. Start to live a healthy life. Plan your life, go to gym, exercise, eat healthy. And let me remind you of something. The first 3 years are very critical for us because there are plenty of things that are coming your way. And if you are not careful, you'll end up losing your life, and which we don't want. We don't want that. We want to see you picking up your life and move on. Just sit down and go back and ask yourself, what is it that Felicia wants? The dreams that you once had. Ask yourself about those dreams and go back and start afresh. It doesn't matter whether you've got 1 or 3 or 5 kids, but this is your life. You can still claim it back and move on. You see, take control of your life. And the moment you start looking after yourself, the moment you start taking control of your life, you'll start to love yourself. You'll love the person that you wake up every day and look at the mirror. You'll look at that person on the other side and you say, I'm in love with this lady. The moment you realize that, you must know that, something is happening from within. And you must smile. Because the moment you start to love yourself, you will be able to love your own kids. If you don't love yourself, you are a danger even to your kids. How can you love someone if you can't love yourself? That's another mistake that we find ourselves sitting with, because we run to seek for love before we can love ourselves. Before we can even start thinking of going and look for love somewhere else, let's love ourselves first. Let's work on ourselves first. You will see there will be a different, in our lives. And then there's another thing that I just want us to zoom in. The community that we are living at, the churches that we, our church. The moment you become a widow, I don't know what is happening, which we really, 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 really need to talk about. And I believe the next session, we're going to focus on that. Because when you are a widow, people start treating you other way around. I don't know whether they think you don't have mind or what. I don't know whether they think or your thinking capacity. I don't know. I don't know really. Mara, the treatment that we get out there, it's like people think we are no longer normal. Our thinking maybe has been twisted. I don't know. So it's time for us widows to claim our position back. In our workplace, it's time for us to claim our position back. Let's not allow people to take advantage of us because we've lost our loved ones. Let's not allow our families to do as they please because we've lost our partners. We need to stand up for our kids' sake, for our own sake. We need to stand up and say, enough is enough. We can't. If I used to be in a church board, I must be there even after losing my husband. I need to find myself there. People must not sideline me because I've lost a partner. The community that you are at, find something to do in your community. People must not label you and say, hey, she's a widow, hey, chirikazi. Hey, they mustn't do that. It doesn't work with us, queens. It's time for us to take control of our lives. It's time for us to love ourselves. It's time for us to show them that let's do it for ourselves, to say there is still life out there that I need to live. I need to grow up and be that granny who will just wake up one day and go just for vacation. A granny will just say, I'm going to do a road trip. We deserve that. After all, losing a partner was never our fault. So why do we have to sit and pity ourselves? No, let's not do that to ourselves. Let's reach out to someone and pull them out of that darkness, because being in that position, it's so painful. You need someone, you need a sister, you need a brother, you need a mother who can come and pull you out of that dark hole. And I believe through this Widowhood forum, we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna reach out to other widows out there who doesn't know where to start, who doesn't know what to do. We're gonna reach out and just fix each other's crown. We're gonna fix each other's crown. We're gonna help we're gonna assist each other. A time for us to love it has passed. We need to look after each other. We need to show each other, to say, this is how you can do 1, 2, 3. Remember, when you are a widow, it's like you are starting everything afresh. You learn how to walk. You learn everything. You are learning to do things differently. So you need someone who can mentor you. You need someone who can show you the right way to do things. So tonight, I'm going to end there. And then, as I've already indicated, as when I started, we're going to continue this session. And then going forward, we'll take it bit by bit, and we'll reach a stage whereby we will engage as widows in this forum. As single woman in this forum, we are going to engage. We're going to teach each other how to raise our kids, how to pray for our kids, how to pray for our families. Even the widowers out there, they need us to show them how to lead those kids. And then together we can do this. Thank you.